Hello and welcome to Shoeman's Modelings. Well, it was mail call and today I got my Creality LD2R resin printer. So this is my first resin printer. I've been using filament printers for a while. So I thought I'd get into resin printers and this is the printer I chose. I've got another one on the way that's a mid-range style. This is kind of a small format. So I'm looking forward to getting into it, and what I'm going to do is do a video on my process from start to beginning. So let's get this one unpacked and see what's in there. So everything is unboxed. It came in a very tight pack, nothing was moving, so it's very nicely packed. And we have the printer itself, and with it comes some masks, some filters, a paintbrush, couple sets of gloves, a plastic spatula, some release film, a metal spatula, tools, a USB thumb drive, and the instructions manuals, and the metal build plate. So there's quite a bit of stuff there. And so next it'll be getting it set up in the back room where I'll be doing my printing. But first, along with this printer, there's a lot of other things you have to take into consideration, and I will bring those up next. When you do print with resin, you're going to have to get a few more supplies compared to just when you buy when you're using a filament printer. You need filament, maybe some hairspray or something to stick to the bed. With a resin printer, you're going to need a few more things, and that's what I've got put together here. You need to clean the resin off the model once you're done. And I've watched YouTube, a lot of different great YouTube videos out there, and the one thing that I seem to think that people really like to do is use this type of system to clean their parts with. So I have a smaller one I use for airbrushes, so I bought a bigger one that you can actually heat up. And so I'm going to be using that to clean my parts with. It's a pretty good size, so I shouldn't have any problems cleaning that. If not, you can always use a bigger vat of some kind to clean bigger parts. Next, you're going to need resin. So this is the water washable resin. I've heard a lot of good things about that, and also right now, since it's very hard to get the alcohol you need, I figured water resin would probably be a little bit way to start. Also, from some other folks I know in the resin community, they also talked about getting a small curing light to cure the inside of models, because those don't always get cured right, so that should help curing the inside. I've also got a UV light. I wasn't sure what kind of curing station I wanted to build, and I thought, well, maybe I can build one for bigger parts and one for smaller parts, so I got this light. It came with a little turntable. I will probably either modify that for a bigger plate or maybe buy a bigger one, but it came with the UV light. Then I also bought some UV LED tape. I've already got something in mind for that. I'm going to build a curing station out of some a bucket I have, and so that will help cure the models once they're done and clean. So I've got it kind of set up where I want it. I've got some more adjustments to do, but for now I just kind of laid down a puppy pad to pick up any spills I might have. I think I've got a piece of plastic or maybe an old sheet tray that I can put down also, but we'll work on that later. I did turn it on, and it's very quiet. I know some people, I think, have complained about fan noise, but it might kick on louder when I start printing something, but as far as it just being on, it's fine. Just a quick side note, when I was reading the instructions, directions, and everything else yesterday, and they're pretty good, I'll get to those later, but one thing it never did mention was that you have to take off this protective plastic. And I know it kind of looks obvious, but if you're really new at this kind of stuff, it might not be quite obvious. So if you get one of these printers, don't forget to take the little plastic off. Well, here's the resin vat, and another helpful hint that I've learned by reading and seeing a lot of stuff on YouTube is you want to spray this with something like Rain-X or I have this stuff, it should work too, the WD-40 water silicone lubricant. And you want to spray that in the vat and around the where the resin goes. People say that will help it from the build plate from sticking. So we'll give it a shot and see what happens. I'm getting ready to start a print. So what I'm going to use is this water washable resin. Like I said, I'm going with water. I'm going to do that as much as I can because, first of all, the IPA is hard to get these days, and I think really this is just going to be a better way of doing it. I've seen a lot of good folks do stuff with this, so we'll give it a try. Also, when I've looked at the documentation and also stuff that I've seen on YouTube and whatnot, they say that this is already pre-leveled, so I'm going to go with that, just like, you know, kind of like going off a noob thing where let's just try it, see what happens. And we're going to get ready to print. I've shaken up the resin and we'll pour it in and get things going. So I've got the resin in, shook it up really well, poured in. It doesn't really have a terrible smell. I know some people complain that resin has a really bad smell. I think the gloves I used smell worse than the resin, but it's in there, so let's get ready for a print. So we're gonna press print. Oh, actually first I need to put the USB in. So I've got the two models. I'm just using the one that came with the USB that included, so we're going to go and print that. I'm going to print the Eiffel Tower, so we're going to press that. And it shows you what print you're going to get with the Eiffel Tower. So let's go ahead and click start. And you can hear the fans come on. Again, they don't sound too terribly bad. And we can see the build plate lowering into the vat. And we're just going to go ahead and let it do its thing, and I'll check back with you later. The first print is done. It looks pretty amazing. I went ahead and, since this is water soluble, I've sprayed some water on it, trying to clean it up a bit. Now I'm going to get it off the platform and go ahead and put it in a ultrasonic cleaner to try to get more of that resin off, and then we'll, since I don't have my light box done yet, I'm just going to kind of stick it outside and let the sun harden it up, so we'll see how that looks later. So here it is, all done. It's been cured. I left it outside for about 5 hours while I was at work, and it looks pretty good. I really don't know why. You can see those handrails that were kind of really intact kind of fell apart a little bit, and there were some handrails inside that kind of got messed up. I don't know if maybe I just handled them when they were still wet. I don't know, but I think the detail really is really fantastic. And like I said, this was just a print out of the box, no changes, so I'm pretty happy with it. And now we'll see what we can do with some other prints. Thanks for watching.